I'm going to start this week's video update inside again in the nerve center of New Cherry Farm, which is mainly my corner office. Anyhow, I bet I'm the only person who has a TV antenna on their bed, as I'm testing a new TV antenna to put up in the attic, since some of the Denver stations stayed in the high VHF range instead of shifting to UHF only for high definition signals. So it turns out I still need a little more metal up there in the attic, and this one seems to be working pretty good, so I'll move it up into the attic and do a combining preamp type arrangement up there to get the best over-the-air television. Let's see what else is inside here. You might be wondering why I would have a plaque mounted at an angle. I guess with all the work that went into getting the walls put up and finished and painted, I'm still opposed to putting a bunch of holes into the walls. So what I'm doing is I'm testing these new little 3M command strips. They have a whole range of them for different weight ranges that basically just stick on the wall, and this one's had the plaque up there for 3 or 4 days so without falling off, so it's good. But the nice thing about them is that if you want to change things, well, first of all, there's no hole in the wall. It's basically just stuck on. You see the little tab down below the hook. When you get ready to remove it, you can basically just pull on that and stretch it out, and the whole thing supposedly snaps off the wall with no damage to the wall or the paint, hopefully. And so I'm about to that point in the testing to see if I can actually remove those with no damage to the wall, in which case I'll go ahead and get a bunch of them and start putting some pictures up. Okay, let's move outside. Okay, here we can see the field pretty much all cut off and all the bales picked up. James and his friend finally got both the hay bind and the baler going, and they went ahead and cut at least, and turns out that their horses like the grass hay that they baled, so I think they got about 250 bales off of here, and then moved the equipment up by Masonville to do his place up there, which is not nearly as good. I'm going to go ahead and get the bush hog going and trim up the edges, and then by next spring have a boom sprayer to spray down on the bottom, because it turns out there's quite a bit of thistle coming up down there now, so I want to try to get the weeds back under control. Okay, this is my burn pile that I'm building with branches and limbs and whatnot, so when I get a pretty good snowstorm this winter, I'll go ahead and get a burn permit and burn all of this stuff. I have some more over in a different location that I'm going to move over here also. Okay, here's the current status of the scratch pen area. I've gotten all of the structure of the scratch pen down, and most of the stuff moved out. The little bit that's left back in the back corner I'm going to try to get done today, but there's some car parts in there, and a bin of coal that Danny had saved, and stuff like that, so I'll need to get some input before I can decide what gets trashed and what gets moved. But anyhow, it's mostly out of the way, and I was able to go ahead and grade the driveway over farther. It looks like it was about a yard more over to get the final alignment on the driveway done. So here's what the driveway looks like now going back. You can see it's straighter, at least. I might do a little bit more adjusting on it, but basically this driveway is the east driveway, and it just goes straight back to, eventually there will be a gate at the field fence back about where that water tank is sitting on the left, just behind the wind generator tower. Then at the road end of the driveway, I'm going to redo all of the gates and the fence to a new style that'll let me trim underneath and keep it all cleaned up. But here I've marked off a where the jog over to the east is going to be at the end of this driveway. Recall on the west driveway I had to swing over to the west to go around the blue spruce tree and also miss the power pole. So I'm just going to mirror image that over here and duplicate it, so it'll make it easier to pull in or out of the driveways based on which direction you're coming or going to on the county road. Okay, on both of the cottonwoods that I planted, shown here, one of them I'd trimmed up before when Ron pulled his RV in, but I now have both of those pretty much trimmed up on the bottom. They've gotten big enough that I don't need the bottom limbs anymore, nor does the tree, and so I cut most of those limbs off, and kind of left some of them here for Charles to take a look at when he shows up to finish up his wood, to see whether he wanted to get any of that for kindling or whatever. Another thing I did recently was I took out all of the old sidewalk, including a section that was underneath the blue spruce tree. But I took all of that out and I've moved it out of the way, including the two sidewalks going up to where the steps used to be, and brought in some dirt and backfilled and kind of smoothed things out, starting to make this into more of a little park area that's going to be around the pond and the water garden that I'm going to put in where the old house was. Another thing I did was I brought the backhoe in and pulled out all of the old water pipes and drain pipes that were sticking out of the bank on the east side of where the old house used to be, the basement area. So those are all gone now. One or two of them were too hard to pull out, so I basically pulled them up and dug down and back as far as I could and cut them off, and including the copper line for the water towards the back. I also trimmed up two little volunteer cottonwoods that had come up from the root system of the one cottonwood that died out in front. That one's going to be taken down, the dead one, and then hopefully these two little cottonwoods will take its place.